Okay. So the third position that we're going to work on is, once again, trying to get up into the upper ribs here, but we're also going to change the position of the scapula. So every time we change the position of the arm here, the scapula is in a very different position, right? And that's really the goal, is to change the position of the scapula around the ribs. And in order to do that, we have to change the organization of the rib structure itself. So the muscles or the intercostals between the ribs, and then also the pectoral tissue, and even some of the posterior tissue as far as strength goes, right? So, and we'll get into that later. But right now we're just opening the front up. So we're trying to just create a little more space in the anterior compartment of this side of the body to create some space and free up some tension. And then we'll actually start to talk about working the back to really create some balance and stability for the scapula here. So basically you're gonna step yourself out to the side just a little bit more from the door frame, and just like we did the position down here, we're gonna try to bring the arm up just a little bit. So you're gonna extend your arm out, okay? You're gonna roll that elbow forward, externally rotating in the shoulder head. So you should feel that shoulder head. If you touch it, you should feel that shoulder head slightly turn backwards, right? So you're gonna hold that position, and then you're gonna slide that arm up very slow until you start to feel a compensation happen. And by compensation, I mean the elevation or the protraction of the shoulder and scapula, right? Because your body's gonna try to protect that space. So once again, straight arm out, coming up nice and slow. Now this alone could be just enough, right? Just being straight out with the straight arm. Because if I look left and lean forward a little bit, like I feel a stretch here. And that's perfect, right? That's what we're looking for, right? We're trying to find the line of tension where it's at. Meet your body where it's at and work on that space, and then gradually progress the range, right? So I'm gonna slide up just a little bit more here because I wanna show you just kind of like what this looks like once the arm comes up overhead, right? Notice that at no point did I lift my scapula up, no elevation, to get my arm up here. I started with the scapula from this position here, which is down and back on the ribs. And as I slowly lift my arm, the scapula starts to wing up and wrap around the ribs a little bit to get in this position. And once again, like we'll talk about how the scapula stabilizes in these overhead positions later video. So we're coming up. I'm here, I'm letting the shoulder head do this motion, right? So imagine like this aspect of the joint closing, right? And then I'm up overhead. Now I'm gonna give myself just a small little step forward, leaning in, pulling that elbow forward, finding that external rotation of the shoulder. And you should also feel this serratus activation here as well as the lat, right? So you should feel these muscles kind of engage to try and help stabilize the scapula in this position. So same situation, you're gonna pull down into that left side, flex forward just a little bit, leaning into the stretch just a hair, starting to look left. Getting that upper thoracic rotation. Okay, pull that elbow forward. If you don't quite feel it there, once you get a little bit rotated, and now I've got a good stretch coming across all the way down my arm, upper shoulder, and even down into this space here, and we're just gonna take those 5 good deep breaths. So in through the back of the throat here, so no contraction of the nostrils, just nice open nostrils, slow, even breaths. Should feel it travel down the back of your throat and get full expansion all the way. Slow exhales, focusing on really contracting through that left side. Keep pulling that elbow forward. Little bit of side bend each time. Breath in. Feeling those ribs expand. Exhale. Feel everything contract down. One more. Good normal breaths. And then a breath in. Slowly unwinding, let that hand slide down. Once again, if you need to give a little support here, just hold that shoulder in position and then just let that hand slide down. And then you can run over, grab, and let that arm come down. Once again, open that rib cage up, kind of open that shoulder back up, get that external rotation, side bend into that left side, and then just hang out here and let that arm just kind of dead hang, shake, do whatever it needs to do to recognize the position that it's now in. Control your breath, control your nervous system, let the body figure it out, give it some time. Good. Okay, so those are 3 stretches, 3 positions that you can do just through breath work to open up the anterior aspect of the capsule of the shoulder, opening up the intercostals of the ribs, and also trying to create a little bit more space in through this lat serratus area by some anterior stretching. Thanks for joining me today. If you like what I'm talking about here, please hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be exploring a lot of ways to create better space for your body through breathing techniques, through positional isometrics, and through some band work to create strength in areas where there may be not enough stability to actually support the organization that you're looking for the activities that you like to do. Thanks for joining me.